All right, so this is absolutely a public service announcement related to sharing our roadways with motorcycles. The seasons are changing. Spring is coming. There are locations around the country that people ride motorcycles year-round, including in the South, where I am in Atlanta, Florida, Texas, California, Arizona. You know the locations where they can ride motorcycles throughout the year. For most of the country, though, this is going to be something a little bit different. And so if you think about all the vehicles on the roadway, motorcycles represent 4% of them. Less than 4% of all vehicles on the roadway are motorcycles. That's the first thing. I want you to let that marinate for a minute because we're going to get to that later. The other thing about motorcycles, if they are involved in a collision, the likelihood of severe bodily injury or death increases dramatically. Obviously, we don't have airbags. There's nothing surrounding us. We do have things to keep us safe. For example, helmets. You should always wear a helmet when you operate a motorcycle. And we have clothing that we can use just in case something happens. But for the most part, the operator of a motorcycle is in a defensive posture naturally. We're not texting while we're riding a motorcycle, obviously. We're not looking at landmarks and just focused on the landmark and not the roadway in front of you. So there are things that we can absolutely do. The other thing is that you may not be aware of, the safety of a motorcycle, I think is safer than a car outside of the obvious. You can accelerate quicker, you can maneuver through traffic, you can brake quicker, you can shorten the distance that it would normally take to brake. So those things are true advantages. Where the rub comes is mentally for the other drivers. Once again, if there are less than 4% of all vehicles are motorcycles, your brain is telling you that there's not going to be a motorcycle there. So the number one time that you can focus, this is the number one thing you can do, is at intersections when you're making a left turn and there's oncoming traffic. That is the time that you need to be hyper-focused on all the vehicles out there, including motorcycles, because once again, your brain is not expecting to see a motorcycle. So that's where those collisions happen the most. So this is the other thing that you need to be aware of, is that the majority of motorcycle collisions are not the rider's fault. They're other people not paying attention. And there are a lot of distractions out there. But if you could do me a personal favor and you can have that heightened sense of awareness, especially at those intersections, that would be fantastic. All right, you guys take care.